What does your bitch voice sound like? The little whiny thing. You have plenty of time to get that done. Just wait until later. Or, you don't have enough time, right? It's one of the two things. When you have this bitch voice come up that says to you, why are you rushing so hard? Why are you taking this so serious? You got plenty of time. We're talking about very slight changes that make a big difference over time. If you could train your brain to use this as a switch to actually trigger you into action, now you're in a position of power. Now you're in a position of control. And now, when I was starting in business, I looked at all these other business guys and I constantly doubted myself. I constantly told myself in my head that I wasn't good enough or that I wasn't equipped enough. And dude, I wasn't equipped, right? I wasn't good enough at the time. That was the truth. I had to get better. Your bitch voice knows that actions are going to produce results. We have the bitch voice and then we have the boss voice. And those two voices are the voices that basically dictate our actions and our lives up until we start to become aware of the voices, and then we start to actually react in a different way. You actually learn to train yourself to use your bitch voice as the trigger for you to actually get up and move. Your bitch voice would be the voice that talks you out of doing the shit that is gonna bring you closer to where you wanna be. And your boss voice is the voice that is always telling you what you should do. And usually your bitch voice is trying to talk you out of it. For a lot of you guys, just being aware of your bitch voice and your boss voice is gonna make a huge impact on how you react and how you execute. Because once you realize that you're talking yourself out of the things that are actually gonna bring benefit into your life, you can stop that real quick. A lot of people tell themselves these things. They all understand that this isn't about talent, it's about choices. Your individual small choices over the course of time are what compound into overall result of success down the road. All right, but how do you get better at things? By doing them. You're not gonna get any better by not doing it. What you have to realize is you have to understand that when you start to doubt yourself, that is also a trigger that you're going to take, and then you're going to apply that to whatever it is you want to do. When you start out and you're trying to do great shit, you're trying to do big things, and you're trying to grow a business or change your life or do something that's very earth-shattering for you in your existence, we got this little bitch voice that comes in and it says, how you gonna do that? You don't have any money. You don't have anybody backing you. You don't have fucking anything. You don't have the connections. That's what I heard, right? Those are the things that I heard in my head. But what are you hearing in your head? So when you want to get good at things and you want to fucking win, you have to be willing to put in the extra blood, sweat, and tears effort to learn and develop skills because you don't have the resources that other people have. The people who you're competing against who had the easy way, who had the funding, the rich parents, all the shit that you bitch about not having, those people end up not developing the skills. They don't have the skills because they relied on the things that you wish you had, that you say, man, it's not fucking fair they have that. No, actually what's not fair is that you don't have it and you have to develop these skills. And so when you compete against them 10 years down the road, you have all the fucking skills and a little bit of money going and a little bit of momentum, and you can kick their ass no matter how much money they have because they don't have any skills. And that's where you want to be. Zero options mentality is the trick that you have to learn once you become somewhat successful so that you continue to be resourceful, you continue to think outside the box, and you continue to develop new skills that'll help you in whatever it is that you do. At the end of the day, not having the resources and that bitch voice in your head telling you, you don't have what it takes, you don't have rich parents, you don't have investors, that shit in your head, that's actually a competitive advantage, and you need to realize that. The idea that you need permission. This is something that a lot of you guys struggle with. I used to wonder if I was going to be one of those chosen people. Like, was I going to be one of the chosen few that the success fairy was going to come and hit on the head with her little, wand, and I would become what it is that I wanted to become. And that's how I used to think of it. And a lot of people never shake that. They still think that that's how it works. And I'm here to tell you, because I'm on the other side of that now, after almost 23 years in business, that's just not true. It's just not. And there is no success fairy, and there is no fucking luck. There is none of this shit that you guys put all your hopes and dreams in, thinking that it might not work out for you. What stops most people is this thought. What if I fucking do all this? What if I change my whole life? What if I commit myself? What if I do this work for the next 10 years and then it ends up not working? And I don't get chosen. And I didn't get tapped on the head. I think people are where the fuck they deserve to be. And if you look at what they did over the last 10 years, their life is gonna look exactly what it should look like. That's reality. And a lot of you are thinking right now, you need to focus on getting good and not worried about like all these fucking fake entrepreneurs say on the internet. Start a fucking business, learn some fucking skills, start becoming good at what you do, offer a great product for a fair price, and fucking do what the fuck you gotta do. The only way to keep yourself on the track of what you're trying to do is to make sure that you hold a high standard for yourself without compromising that standard for anybody. The reason these things are important is because the plans that you make must be followed through on. But you know what you do when you make a bad plan? You still execute the plan, you figure out that it's bad, and you don't do that same one again. You add something to it or take something away, and then you go at it again. And then if that doesn't produce the result, you add something to it, you take something away, and this is how you learn. It's just most of you guys aren't patient enough and aren't willing to go through this process. If you can't become aware of your own internal dialogue, and you can't start to have control over your own internal dialogue, and you can't start to tell the bitch voice that you have in your head to sit the fuck down and shut up, you're gonna have a very hard time making any year your year. Obstacles you might have, or excuses you may think you have, no matter fucking what it's always going to come down to is your own actions and your own choices and your own thoughts. Becoming aware when you're talking yourself out of the things you really want for the things that you can have at this moment, the instant gratification aspect, becoming aware of your ability to negotiate with yourself, to use your bitch voice as the trigger for you to actually get up and move.